Anil, how can companies balance creativity and automation when it comes to Gen AI?
I think that's a great question. I think I'd like to start first by saying technology will never replace human creativity. Technology and AI are here to actually augment our creativity. I think for organizations that are employing generative AI to create new content, to expand the content that they have, they need to look at what their objectives are in terms of expanding audience reach, unlocking the value of latent content that perhaps has been, sitting in their libraries for a long time, taking content to places where their consumers are, their audiences are, and they can do all of that with a lot of the tools that have been emerging, especially from Google Cloud and others. And automation is more about expediency, right? It's about addressing the streamlining of content creation and content production, and maybe taking some of the tedium of work out of the process, allowing creatives to be more creative and have more time for creativity.
How do you see AI changing the way content is packaged and personalized?
I actually think that's one of the biggest unlocks from AI. Right now, many of us have grown up in a world where content was created for a specific format, right? It was kind of like a single format endeavor. You make a TV show for TV, right? You make big films for cinema. And what has happened over the last, 10, 15 years is we all now live in a multi-format, multi-platform world. And that puts a larger burden on creators to try and reach consumers in all those different platforms. With AI, we can take a lot of that work out of the process and automate it by creating for one particular format, and then leveraging generative AI tools to expand the reach of that content by repackaging it automatically. You can take an article that is written for a publication and now turn it into a podcast or turn it into an animated video, depending on where the consumer is that's engaging with the content. And for personalization, I think I was just talking with the CTO of a large media agency just 2 minutes ago, and we were talking about the fact that we've been on this journey to achieve truly dynamically generated, hyper-personalized content, whether for media, for consumer experiences, or for advertising. And now with AI, we actually have the possibility of doing this because we can actually dynamically generate new content specifically based on the signals we're getting of the user or the consumer and the context that they're in.
What should companies be doing to prepare for this multimodal AI future?
I think the future is now. We're actually seeing a lot of multimodal use cases in production today. What I think is really exciting about it is it introduces new modalities for interaction and engagement and creation without actually requiring a very steep learning curve. So organizations of all types need to think about what they could do differently in their daily work, whether it's servicing and interacting with customers, or whether it's taking care of field operations, whether it's on the manufacturing floor, because now you can actually leverage the ability of these AI foundation models to understand content differently and take input differently. An example of this would be leveraging video to actually engage with an AI agent to get information about a product. This is the product that I have that I bought from your store, and I need help in finding accessory products or additional information, but I don't have the barcode, I don't have the packaging. Can you look at it and tell me the answer to my questions? And that is possible today.
Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.